the box and setup for tuning your ME17 motorcycle. So in the box you will have the computer you will need so we can tune your motorcycle, power vision, all the sensors required, all the electronics, the wideband CX for the power vision, the nutsert tool so that we can put the wideband sensors in your exhaust, bungs for the wideband sensors, power cords for the computer. Alright, now that we have everything unboxed, let's go over our setup and an installation on the motorcycle. So first thing you want to set up, get the wideband CX ready. It's 2 cords. You got from the power vision to the CX. That's just going to plug into the ports on the back of the power vision. And it goes there. And the other plug is going to be for the data link port on your motorcycle to the power vision CX. Plugs in right there. And that's that set up. This is ready. For the O2 sensor blocks, this doesn't need to be torqued down tight. We just want to make sure they're snug. So you thread it into the block and then use a 7/8 or a 22mm wrench and just give it a little snug. And we need to crank that down. You do that for both front and rear. Snug that down. That's ready. Now we'll take everything over to the motorcycle and start installing it on the bike. Alright, once you have the wideband CX with the wires in it ready to go, you can bring this over to the motorcycle. On the left hand side, we gotta get this cover off. So we'll pop that out, set aside, and this is your data link port here. Pop your data link port out. Take the wideband CX, the data link plug it into the motorcycle, and take your other end, which goes to the power vision. It's going to plug into the back here. Just line it up, snaps in, and power on your motorcycle. Once your motorcycle's powered on, this will turn on. And this will be the first step. So we have to, there's no tune on this bike, so we have to read it. So you can select the center button, go down to Vehicle Tools, Read ECU. Once this starts, this takes about 10 minutes, so you can set this down and move on to the next step. Alright, while the ECU is reading, we can start getting our wideband sensors into the exhaust. If you have an earlier model, Thunderstroke, you'll have these covers here over the exhaust system. This is right where we'll put the wideband sensors. On the later models that don't have this cover, you take the heat shields off. You have to remove the floorboard, remove the heat shield, and the wideband sensors will go on the outside here underneath the heat shield. But for this era, it's 2 5mm Allens. Take those 2 out. You should be able to wiggle and remove. Now, if this doesn't come out, which is a common case for these, put one of the bolts back in. This is especially if you're working by yourself. Put one of these back in, just a few threads. And then you're going to need a screwdriver, rag to protect it, and a little persuasion. Alright, so if this doesn't just slide right out, you're going to put 1 screw back in, just a couple of threads, and then come around to the back side with a little bit of rag to protect with a screwdriver and a little bit of persuasion. come up to the bottom, catch the back side of that cover, and little taps. Pop that out. Take your 5mm, take the screw the rest of the way out. Hang on to this guy so it doesn't fall. Slide that out. Alright, in this kit you will find a riv nut tool. This is to install the riv nuts into the head pipe. And in a bag, we're going to send a couple extra, but we're only going to need 2 riv nuts, 2 bolts, 2 sealing washers. The bolts are beef when we're done. So let's get these installed. We also have the proper size drill bit for the nut certs into the head pipe. So let's get these riv nuts installed to the head pipe. Alright, location is pretty important so that the wideband blocks will fit. So you try to, on the front, you try to keep it towards the front of the head pipe and about a fingertip's width off of the heat shield. And I like to start with a smaller drill bit to step it. Step it up to the next size. Once you have your hole in there, pop open the package. Grab your riv nut. You're going to thread this right onto the end of the tool. Like that, goes into the hole, should be a snug fit. And now with this tool, it's a hydraulic, so as you squeeze, it's going to squeeze that riv nut into the head pipe. Don't force it. You don't want to strip the threads out of the riv nut. Get good and snug. There's a release button on the bottom, you press it in. Give it a squeeze, it releases. You can unthread it from the riv nut. Now we can take our oxygen sensor we got ready earlier. I'm just going to thread right into that hole. You can see why location is important. It does get close to those fins. Give it a good snug. It is a hollow threaded pipe there, so it is not super strong. Doesn't need to be cranked down tight. Just get it snug so it's not loose, doesn't rattle. Good to go. Repeat the same thing on the rear. after reading your ECU, it'll let you know when it's done. Read complete, stock saved. This is the stock file for your bike. So we're going to press back to return, back to the home screen, and you can power off the motorcycle now. And we'll take this to the computer. All right, in the kit is the laptop. I'm going to open this up and get it powered on. And now all you'll need to do with this is down here in the lower right hand corner, select the Wi-Fi and connect it to your network. We'll see it come on and take over from there. You'll take your PowerVision with the supplied USB, plug the USB into your PowerVision, and plug that into the computer. That way we'll be able to get all the files right off the PowerVision. All right, we will be in, we'll be talking you guys through this as we're doing it, but once the tune is ready to go on the PowerVision, you can unplug it from the computer and take this back to the motorcycle. And we're going to plug this back into the wideband CX into the motorcycle. Let that power on. And you select the center button and flash tune, and we're going to put in the base file. The flash will take 5 minutes or so. You can set it down, let it do its thing. And in the meantime, you'll have the rear and the front O2 sensor wires that we can route to the oxygen sensors. We'll get those plugged in and we'll tuck everything in, get ready for a ride. All right, important step. When the flash is completed and tells you to turn the vehicle off, wait 30 seconds. You want to power the vehicle off and do not unplug anything. Don't unplug it. The data link port, don't unplug the PowerVision. Give it 15-30 seconds. Power the bike back on. The tune is in and we're ready to start logging. All right, for final setup to get ready for a ride, we're going to tie some things up, get the sensors plugged up. So you can take a zip tie. We'll have these in the kit for you. Tie that right there. And these cords are going to go over top of the seat, right in front of the tank. We do like to add some blue painter's tape, help protect the fuel tank from the wires as you're riding and rubbing. There's a short and a long wideband sensor wire. The short one is going to be for your rear. So you just open up the clasp. It only goes in one way with the ridge there. Lock it down. And it's going to sit, tuck it right there into the seat. The front cable, I go over the horn cover there, plug it up, and then with the supplied zip tie, we're going to tie this wire right here to the coil wire. Back on this side, once your bike is on and we've put the flash in, When you're ready to ride, you're going to select the round button. It's going to start logging. Once you start the log and the bike's running, just take this whole thing, set it in your saddlebag, close the lid so that the wire can't go nowhere, and you're ready to ride.